Hear that? It's the sound of ATM fees taking a bite of the things you buy with your cash. Luckily, with a TD Unlimited checking account, you pay no TD fee at any ATM in Canada. Open an account today. TD, ready for you. You may pay a fee to a non-TD ATM provider.
This is This Week in Geek, Episode 3 with Steve Snowball Sailor and Mike the Birdman Dodd. This episode was recorded live on Wednesday, February 21st, 2007, on Niagara College's own 90.1 FM, The New Heat.
The following program is closed captioned for the thinking impaired.
And we did all that without computers.
They don't let us out much.
Do we have an intro?
Not really. This is just us ad-libbing.
Are you ready for a sexy party?
Son of Jor-El, kneel before Dodd. Or me, whichever.
If you've seen Godzilla vs. Mothra 37 times, I think I've got a show for you.
You're listening to This Week in Geek with Mike the Birdman Dodd and Steve Snowball Sailor here on 90.1 FM, The New Heat.
Just when you thought you got rid of us, we're back.
Hey, this is, of course, This Week in Geek. Now, if you're out there and you're listening here to our show and you believe wholeheartedly that there are 10 different types of people in this world, those who understand binary and those who don't, well, then I think that you're on the right show. I am, of course, Steve Snowball Sailor.
And I am the ever-lovable Mike the Birdman Dodd, returning from our week-long hiatus due to the Hoth-like cold, which you may have heard about in our press release.
Yeah.
So I do apologize to our very many internet listeners, and believe me, we got a lot right now.
Holy yes. We actually, since, obviously everyone has been to the website, thisweekingeek.net, and of course our MySpace page, myspace.com/thisweekingeek. And this, for those who are not in the know, last week we actually released finally our podcast. We have now the ability and the permission to be able to promote, have all our shows up on the website, so you can be able to download and listen to it and enjoy for your listening pleasure. And pretty much since that we released the website back in late January, and it's been we had about 8,000 hits to our website since then. Technically, 7,000 of that was in the month of February, and guess how much we had just in last week alone, Mike?
I don't know, 500-600.
Almost 2,000.
Wow, you guys love us out there, don't you?
You love us, and we love you too.
Oh, we so totally do, which is why, we wanted to build up the suspense. So that's why we didn't start the show quite on time. Well, actually, no, I'm totally lying to you. We actually had a little bit of equipment trouble, so...
hey, but at least it's not the mics this time.
Exactly.
I'm sounding great. I'm hearing myself in my head and my little can headphones, and it's... Oh.
Yeah, because I'm your technical director of love. But yeah,
yes.
So I thought we'd lead off
Mike.
with a little bit of Billy Talent, which is one of my favorite bands. And the concert...
I got to see him live,
Yeah, I went to see them live, and I got a concussion.
Wow.
Yeah, in the States. That's a story. If you see me in the hallways of Niagara College or wherever, please ask me about that.
I actually got to see him live in front of City TV for free. It was just, I walked by, there they were. All right, I'll listen.
I paid $20 to have the crap knocked out of me. It was awesome, and then Aunt Jemima rescued me.
I love the fact that you said it was awesome.
It was, dude, I would totally get another concussion to see Billy Talent and Rise Against.
Might as well. So, what are we going to talk about today on the show, Mike?
Oh, let me see. We got some news for you, obviously, because that's what news for This Week in Geek. But today's topic is one of my favorites. It's the Halo franchise. In fact, we are fully decked out in our Halo gear. My Bungie hoodie, my Halo 2 t-shirt, and my co-host here is also decked out in the Master Chief green.
Oh, yes, the Master Chief. If you've seen the poster of Master Chief, doing this classic two-gun pose, that's exactly what I'm wearing on my t-shirt.
One of our loyal listeners just tried to moon me at the fishbowl window, so I love you, Tristan. You are my hero. But yeah, man. So yeah, we got the Halo franchise coming up. Also, I got details on our first giveaway here This Week in Geek. So we're hopefully going to let you all know about that in just a minute. So I don't know, Steve, how did you enjoy having a day off last week? I didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it because, it was the worst day to have the day off because, one, it was Valentine's Day, and two, everyone was completely snowed in. I stayed in my house because I could not get out of my house.
Wow.
It sucked.
That totally sucked. I mean, I sat here in res, was getting ready to go, then I had to come over and do this whole TV thing, and it didn't work. But you know what, though? We're going to take a short break here. Cool. Then we're going to come back, and you're going to listen to some good stuff. We're going to hopefully entertain you, so I want you to stay tuned to This Week in Geek. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
Leukemia is a cancer that affects one's blood cells, stopping them from carrying out their normal functions. Whether acute or chronic, it is a dangerous disease that develops rapidly. The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is dedicated to improving the lives of those affected by this disease. They invest $32 million annually for research and patient assistance. You can do your part in fighting this deadly disease by volunteering or donating. For more information, go to www.leukemia-lymphoma.org.
Just when you thought it was safe to listen to the radio again,
the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered.
Assault on the senses. A new day, a new time. We're bigger and better than before. Join me, Dana Tortoise, and I'll give you the best in black, death, grind, speed, thrash, and power metal, packed into the 2 most brutal hours of your Monday.
Groovy.
Listen to Assault on the Senses Monday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. only on 90.1 FM The New Heat, Niagara's hottest mix.
Stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Welcome back to This Week in Geek. That was a short little break, but that's okay. I am, of course, Steve Snowball Sailor.
I'm Mike the Birdman Dodd, of course, your ever-lovable radio personality.
And this is, of course, 90.1 FM, The New Heat. You know, I had to throw that in there.
Exactly. I mean, whether you're listening to us on iTunes right now, which we got our feed going, you're downloading the episode, or enjoying us live in the ambiance of live without any post-editing whatsoever, we're here, and we're going to jump right into the news of This Week in Geek.
Yes, that's correct. All right, so the first up we have for news is Aaron Eckhart joins the Dark Knight cast.
Wow.
Yes, the upcoming sequel to Batman Begins, directed, made by Christopher Nolan, and of course stars Christian Bale, Michael Caine, and Gary Oldman. Is now we have confirmed that Heath Ledger earlier this year was going to be slated as the Joker, which I'm still iffy about. But Aaron Eckhart, coming off his Thank You for Smoking big publicity,
which was an awesome movie, I might add.
I have yet to see that. I want to see that so bad. But
worth your time, dude. Trust me.
But I have seen Aaron Eckhart in other things as well. He is going to play Two-Face, Harvey Dent.
Oh, what a weird combination to have the Joker and Two-Face team up against Batman.
I know, that's kind of weird. I mean, I like the fact that they have classic villains, but teaming up, it always seems to be like a bad combination. I think the only really good team up of Batman was really Catwoman and Penguin, because it was still with Tim Burton and Michael Keaton, because that's the original Batman.
You see, I kind of disagree with that one. I mean, I don't know. Then again, I guess it can't get any worse than Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze and Bane.
The Governator as Mr. Freeze, that is just wrong.
The producer of that film, I'm pretty sure, lives in fear of me and my wrath.
I think so. I think he pretty much senses your fear all the time.
Absolutely. In other news this week, we got XM and Sirius merging. You know what? Give us time. Maybe we'll be on there.
That would be freaking awesome. Right alongside of Howard Stern, Martha Stewart, and Oprah Winfrey.
Joining them are Snowball and Birdman.
Exactly. But yeah, supposedly the companies and states, obviously XM Satellite and Sirius Satellite, have been competitors for ever since they started, and they merged on that as a company went together, and they're now worth, both of them together, $14 billion.
You know, I'll be very surprised if they don't get held up in antitrust liable suits and all that stuff, because the FCC probably won't let it happen. It'd be like a monopoly.
That's the only problem that the FCC's they're worried about as far as the FCC is concerned, because of the fact that they would be the only satellite radio company to be able to handle that satellite radio, and that's kind of scary. I mean, to have one company being able to handle it all. I mean, it's pretty much going back to the whole Microsoft monopoly thing.
Yeah, exactly. Or way back in the 80s, for those of you who were alive, when Bell got split into Bell South and Bell Pacific and all that, and all the telephone companies got split up, which is why you got other little ones like WorldCom and Sprint and all them. But anyway, enough about my history lesson, because Lord knows you don't need that.
Yeah, exactly. Next up we have for news is official premiere date for Drive. Now, for those who don't know what Drive is a new show that's going to be produced by Fox. Basically, the premise of the show is it's ordinary citizens who are persuaded to participate in an illegal cross-country race for a $32 million prize.
What an odd number.
I know, $32 million. It's kind of
like, here you're competing for $1.15.
Yeah,
Why $1.15?
It's Walmart pricing.
Exactly, because the lowest price is obviously the best.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that little smiley face too.
I mean, it's kind of like that. What was that movie? Like Smokey and the Bandit or Cannonball Run, something like that. Something with Burt Reynolds, anyway.
Yeah.
So, but there are no monkeys.
Yeah, but the great thing about this show that I have high hopes for is it is produced by Tim Minear. Who, for those who don't know, Tim Minear helped produce with Joss Whedon the Firefly series. He pretty much is the cult favorite of canceled shows.
Well, of course.
Yeah, like every single canceled show that Tim Minear has been on, it's been a cult favorite.
And then they cancel it, which is Fox's, MO. Hey, it's cool. Let's can it.
Yeah, exactly. And also, the kind of add to this nice little casting thing.
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion is going to be the star of Drive.
Wasn't he the bad guy in season 7 of Buffy and the guy from Firefly, the main dude?
He played Captain Mal Reynolds in Firefly and the movie Serenity, which I love. He's also had a cameo in Lost recently. He is also in White Noise 2 with Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica.
Now, I'd like to mention White Noise 2 sucks.
You actually already saw it?
I've seen enough to know that I will never get that moment of my life back.
Oh, that
There are
sucks.
things I'd rather do with a porcupine than watch that movie again.
Still, Nathan Fillion, Katie Sackhoff, I'd still see him in the movie.
That's true. I mean, I got, Captain Mal and Starbuck.
Starbuck, exactly.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of whole Buffyverse and, Joss Whedonverse, the Buffy comic creator and the series creator, Joss Whedon, there's this contest by Dark Horse Comics here, is you have this writing contest, which is also being run currently on MySpace. Basically, you tell everybody how Buffy has changed your life.
Yep.
And you only have 250 words to do it in, which obviously isn't a lot. But if you feel passionate enough about it, you obviously have something good to say about her. And obviously, I will admit something to our listeners here. Buffy honestly did change my life. A couple of years ago, I had a pretty bad incident happen to me in the summer of 2004. And I locked myself in my room and watched pretty much 6 seasons of Buffy consecutive. And let me tell you, I came out of that dark place in my life a lot better for it. Watching that, I just kind of gained these new insights into life. So I myself may try and win this thing. I get like a Buffy lithograph, which is like a limited edition art print, and you get a signed first edition of the issue, and you appear in an upcoming comic as the first prize. Now, I'd like to see what they're going to do with a fat guy with red hair in the Buffyverse.
By the way, I was counting all your words. You basically were up to about 70 right there. So
wow, I probably could enter this contest.
Yeah, but it has to be written, though. Can you write?
No, I type. I type well. Shut up.
All right. Next up, I know we're going really fast with news, but we definitely really want to get to our Halo stuff. But now this is definitely old news, but I definitely really want to mention it. Will Wheaton, he is literally my god.
Space nerd.
Yeah, he is. For those who don't know, Will Wheaton played Wesley Crusher on Star Trek, as well as Gordy LaChance on Stand By Me, if you remember that.
That movie was awesome.
Yeah, and he also has his own books, which I do have, called Dancing Barefoot and Just a Geek. You can find him at willwheaton.net. Yes, I know I'm pimping him out. But anyway, the coolest thing what he is doing recently is he's writing Star Trek The Next Generation episode reviews on TVSquad.com. He's basically going through the first season right now of Star Trek TNG. He's going through kind of his own little witty, humorous banter about the actual episode. And he's also giving kind of like a behind-the-scenes look at a particular scene that was shot in the episode. Basically, just whatever happened in that episode, he can remember on the set. He'll talk about it. And the latest one that if you take a look at our show notes, which by the way, we do have a Delicious feed up for all the show notes that you have. Make it easier for you. If you go to delicious/ThisWeekInGeek/TWIG003, you'll find it on the website thisweekingeek.net. But all our show notes are going to be on there. But anyway, the article that's in our show notes is basically to his latest incarnation of Hyde and Q, which was a great
first
review.
episode where the Borg appeared.
No, actually, that was Q-Who.
Was it?
That was Q-Who.
Q. Oh, wow.
Hyde and Q is where where Q tries to entice Riker with Q powers.
Wow, I think I just lost some of my little bit of nerd cred, eh?
Yes, you did.
Let me roll my percentile dice.
Was it a save? No, it wasn't. I'm sorry.
That's all right, folks.
All right. Now, I know. Now we're going to lose even more geek cred for our next bit of news.
Please don't bring this up.
I'm sorry. It had to be said. It had something to do with our favorite company, which is Apple.
That's very true.
But Justin Timberlake breaks iTunes record.
And the world is a sadder place for it.
Yes. His music video, What Goes goes around, comes around. I can't even say it. It's just, ugh. It's like vile in my mouth. Has sold more than 50,000 downloads to become the most downloaded iTunes video ever.
You see, why can't you people watch something else?
I know. Thriller is on iTunes for since it launched, and the music video thing's launched, and yet that hasn't even reached 50,000 downloads.
You know, it's funny you should mention that, actually. Okay, what I want our listeners to do, and I mean this is very important, I want you guys to go to YouTube.
Okay.
I mean, everybody loves it.
Oh, no, not this.
Look up the Bollywood Thriller. You will have the biggest laugh in history.
Oh, geez.
Much like you probably laugh at Justin Timberlake. Now, I know I'm going to offend some fans out there of Justin Timberlake. Now, I'm going to admit the guy's a pretty good dancer.
And he is funny. On Saturday Night Live, he had some really funny sketches.
Yeah, he's got, honestly, the guy's got a pretty good sense of humor, but I guess I'm not into that music. If it isn't screaming angry stuff, it's just not my thing. But whatever. So, yay, he set a record, so I guess he is somewhat of a cultural icon right now. If he's still around 10 years, I'll shake the guy's hand and say, dude, wicked.
Yeah.
Speaking of stuff that's wicked in a weird, freakish kind of way.
Yeah, Britney Spears. Oh, jeez.
Where do you start with this head case?
Head case. Wow, good choice of words there.
Exactly.
Okay, for those, we have to say it just because it's kind of a weird story, and it has something to do with Geeky. I mean, if those who were on the internet for the first time, probably the first thing you looked up on Google was Britney Spears.
Oh, God.
So she basically, you all know it. She shaved her head, went nuts, got a tattoo. Now she's in rehab. That's all we're going to say about that.
Yeah, she pulled the whole V for Vendetta look.
Exactly. Moving on promptly. Last story we have is Mexican airline rents iPods to passengers. Yes, that's right. For a measly $5 or 50 pesos, if you're on the Mexican airline Volaris, you could be able to rent an iPod, and they have it preloaded with Mexican TV shows and as well as music, and they're working on U.S. TV shows and music as well, and you can have it on the plane. Unfortunately, no screen on the actual seat itself to be able to hook it up to, but that's what the U.S. airlines are working on. But hey, if you want to have an iPod on an airline, you can take Volaris and
so it's basically like Pimp My Plane.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you get a 30 gig video iPod loaded with all kinds of stuff. So that's yeah. I would love to go just on that, just be able to get a 30 gig iPod, even though I already have one.
I just want to go to Mexico, dude.
Mexico.
I mean,
Mexico.
It would be pretty cool to do whatever basically with that. But I don't know. I figure that's one of the more interesting stories from this week. Yeah. So I don't know. We covered everything we wanted to news, and that's amazing.
That is quick. We ran through this. So there's a lot more stuff that we did not kind of somewhat go in more detail that we want to. But if you go to our website at thisweekingeek.net, you can see all the show notes, all the links for all the new stuff that we have today. So what do we have coming up next, Mike?
Well, we're actually going to talk about the Halo franchise. And everybody who owns an Xbox, this is like a required game. It actually shipped with some of the first copies of the Xbox.
Halo.
I love you, man. We're talking about Halo Combat Evolved, the obvious sequel, Halo 2. And you may have heard of Halo 3.
I think you probably have, and you may have heard of the Halo movie.
Yeah, the Halo movie, which is unfortunately stuck in production hell.
Sucks, but we'll talk about that after the break.
Exactly. Also, lastly, to add to this, we're going to talk about Halo Wars, something you'll thoroughly enjoy.
Yes.
So enjoy this little trip as we head out to break, and we'll be back in moments.
Woo-hoo!
Got musical spirit? Join me, Natasha Drummond, every Thursday from 7 to 8 for Defying Gravity, a show focused on musicals all around the globe. I'll be talking about the latest plays, hottest Broadway stars, and trivia from your favorite shows. So, if you need your Broadway fix, just tune in Thursdays from 7 to 8 and join me, Natasha Drummond, for Defying Gravity, only on 90.1 FM, The New Heat.
Unlike Trail Mix, Niagara's hottest mix has everything that you like.
We are living in a police state. Hey, baby, we're
90.1 FM, The New Heat.
Welcome back to This Week in Geek.
Welcome.
You know you missed us in that, 1 minute there. But you know what? We're back. I love you. Please take me back. Because I'm the Birdman.
Yes.
Anyway, rocking right along here. You're listening to 90.1 FM, The New Heat. I'm Mike Dodd.
And I'm Steve Saylor.
And today we're talking about Halo. Wow.
I've been looking forward to this for a while.
This was a game franchise that I'm serious changed the face of gaming for years. I mean, there are few games which can compare to the popularity, cultural influences. I mean, the only games I can really think of, truly, that were system setters were GoldenEye 007 for the Nintendo 64.
Yep.
Now, this was a game that I used to sit around with my friends on the weekend. I was in high school when this came out, grade 9 or 10, and we used to play this thing for hours. We'd have GoldenEye tournaments on the weekend. We'd do Perfect Dark, because it was made by Rare, same company.
I love Rare because I loved even before they made GoldenEye because they made the Donkey Kong. Yes!
Right.
I loved Donkey Kong. My first Super Nintendo game was Donkey Kong 2.
Oh, wow. My first Super Nintendo... Okay, you see, now you're going to see a bit of an age difference right here right now between me and Snowball, is when his Super Nintendo first came out, or when his first game was Donkey Kong 2. When I got mine, my first game was Super Mario World. Wow. I had to sell 21 regular Nintendo games to buy one Super Nintendo. I got one of the first 100,000.
Wow.
Yeah, make fun of me now.
I got Super Nintendo for Christmas, and I got Super Mario Kart that same with that. But my brother got Diddy Kong Quest. And
don't even bring up Mario Kart to me, buddy.
Dude, Mario Kart I lost a lot of hours of my life to Mario Kart.
Grade 7, I was there for hours. See, once again,
that's right. That's right.
But back at hand. Halo was developed by Bungie Studios. They were one of the companies that was contracted by Microsoft in the very beginning to produce a launch title. And Microsoft says to them, I want you to produce something that will set the mark for the Xbox. And
that's a lot to live up to.
That really is.
I mean, for a new company that's coming out, they've been in the gaming business for a while. I mean, they were making stuff on the Apple II, which really wasn't that much, but still. I mean, the fact that Microsoft came to them and said, we want you to make the flagship title for the Xbox.
Oh, yeah, and, every one of us remembers at Christmas time, when the Xbox first came out, there was the Halo trailer, and we're thinking, what is this? And, I will admit, I thought Halo sucked when I saw it on TV. Now, my friend John, who I call Kung Fu John, came over, and he said, Mike, we're going to play Halo. I'm like, what's Halo? It's like we're going to play Angels or whatnot?
Yeah.
But no, he slots it in, and we're fighting the Flood, which are these weird alien parasites. I'll get into them a little bit more later.
Yeah.
But when I fired that first assault rifle clip, let me tell you, heaven was here, and it was amazing.
Oh, I love being able to just take the rifle and just go boosh right against the massive Flood.
Or
army. It was so good.
Or who puts a scope on a pistol?
I don't know, but still, it looks good.
It was so cool, which actually led to an interesting glitch in the programming, which we'll bring up later in the show here.
Yep.
But yeah, when the Master Chief first stepped out of that cryo chamber, wow! When the first Elite rushed me, I didn't know what I was doing. I was shooting left and right.
Man.
Wow! I'd never played anything on a next-gen system quite like this, and I was simply blown away.
See, now I was unfortunately unprivileged at that to be able to have an Xbox and play the original Halo when it first came out. I waited to the PC version when it came out, and which was great. I played it straight through. I literally played that within like 10 hours straight. I did not take a break. I loved that game. And when I got an Xbox for the first time, I actually was able to get Halo, the original Halo, for $5.
Speaking of 5, it's 5 o'clock. You're listening to 90.1, the new Heat FM. Actually, that was kind of a nice segue there. $5. I actually got my copy for free from a friend of a friend's ex-boyfriend. He kind of loaned it to me, and he just kind of moved away.
Well, I got mine on Boxing Day at Best Buy, and only because they were selling it for $15, I had a $10 gift certificate. So,
wow.
Haha.
You are so totally fired.
And that same day, I bought Halo 2, which we'll talk about in a bit. I bought that for $20.
I think I hate you with a flaming passion.
And it wasn't just the regular version. It was the collector's edition.
Good job. But so anyway, Bungie developed this game with a character named the Master Chief. Now, I'm sure all of you know the background, but for those of you that don't, the franchise starts off with a character named just the Master Chief. It's this guy in this amazingly cool-looking green armor.
You don't know what he looks like because all he has is just the green armor on.
Yeah, and you never see his face. You see him pop on his helmet and whatnot, but you never see what his true visage looks like.
Yep.
So you play this character, and you're on this ship called the Pillar of Autumn. And basically, you're attacked by these alien forces called the Covenant. The Covenant is this collation of alien races banded together under one religious system, basically saying, if you don't join us, you're against us, sort of thing. And humans were some sort of an abomination to them.
Very fundamentalist religion.
Exactly, like Looney Tunes sort of thing. So
they even look like Looney Tunes.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you listen to the grunts...
Yeah.
Some of their dialogue, it's bloody great. And I love it, honestly, to death.
I love that.
So what happens is, in the first bit of the game, you wake up, your ship is attacked, whatever. You save as many people as you can. You get into this escape pod, but first you take the ship's AI with you, the artificial intelligence. Cortana, who is beautiful for a hologram.
If she was real, yeah. Yeah.
And that's why he's single, folks. Anyway.
Shut up.
That's right, holodeck boy. So continuing right along.
Shut up.
You and Cortana crash land on Halo with the rest of the survivors of the ship. But however, the escape pod you're in, because you're the only one who decided, hey, I should wear a seatbelt, you live. The rest
Actually, no, he didn't even wear a seatbelt.
Oh, yeah, I guess that helmet would protect him against...
No, he was just basically standing, holding onto that little, I don't know, handle thingy.
Yeah.
He's the only one who survived. Everyone else died.
It was kind of a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
But Cortana said other survivors made it off the ship. And so you spend part of the game looking for their survivors. So you're wandering around Halo, which looks a lot like Earth. What Halo is this huge artificial space station, which is easily tens of millions of kilometers wide and long, and it looks like a big giant ring.
Yep.
So it's got artificial gravity, artificial air, everything. So you're led to believe
But at this time, when he lands on Halo, they don't know what it is. They have no idea. They basically just warped somewhat to the system where it is, and they get attacked by the Covenant, and that's where they have to they basically crash land on Halo.
Now, we won't give away the ending of the game, because I do recommend for all of you to go out there and play it. So, you know, Halo became such a monument for the Xbox that, you know, there were huge tournaments set up. I mean, I know people that have done 16-player LAN games with us in their house. The place is Halo for a weekend, and the energy in the air is phenomenal because you're sitting there, you're hopped up on joke cola, Doritos, and probably like fried pickle sandwiches or something weird like that.
Yeah, and
you're just playing this game, and you and your friends, you disappear into this world.
Oh yeah,
and the world has become so large because it's such a good gaming franchise. They've even expanded into novels. Right?
Yes.
Which the novels in the universe that I'm aware of right now are Halo: The Fall of Reach. Reach is where the Master Chief was developed. He's like a genetic super soldier kind of guy, and they're called Spartans.
Yep.
There's Halo First Strike, which happens before the first game.
Yep.
The Flood, which is the first game novelized.
Yep.
And a story that takes place between Halo 1 and 2 called The Ghosts of Onyx.
Yep.
And I've read reviews for the books, and they look pretty good. So I'm kind of hoping I can pick them up in like a couple of weeks, actually.
Yeah, I still have to pick them up myself. Basically, you can buy them like a box set of like just the three of them for like, I don't know, I can't remember how much is like.
Something like $15, $16.
Yeah, I think a little bit more than that, but you can buy the box set of like just the three of them together. So.
And Ghosts of Onyx is available as a hardcover edition.
Yeah, and they explain the whole story. What happened at Reach. Reach was a colony planet from people from Earth, basically humans, and they were developing this kind of genetic super soldier program called the Spartans. And the Covenant found that kind of facility because they were looking for that their Spartan program, and they destroyed. or they were basically attacking. They were destroying Reach, and the Pillar of Autumn was the only ship that basically escaped from that onslaught, and that's where the first the Halo game picks up, is basically right after that. So you don't know anything about Reach in the first game, but those novels kind of talk about it.
Yeah, and as far as I know, Bungie and Microsoft have said the novels are canon, but not everybody reads the novels and the stories. So obviously some details in the games will be left out, and in future franchise opportunities and other mediums as it gets transferred. Yeah. Actually, even Marvel Comics picked up on the Halo craze, and they did a Halo graphic novel, which I really want, because I'll be honest with you, I've been getting back in the comic books pretty hardcore thanks to my friend Greg, and it's just, it's really, 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 really cool. So I've seen some of the production artwork for the Halo graphic novels, and I was very impressed.
Yeah. Now even to show how farther the Halo franchise has gone as far as pop culture, it not only made the Xbox what it is today. It basically beat out Sony as far as popularity, even though Sony sold a lot more on PS2s.
But Sony does not have a flagship character.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Crash Bandicoot sucked.
Yes, agreed.
When you compare him to the Master Chief, what are you gonna do? You're a little whatever a Bandicoot is.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, they even go as far as there is an animated series based on the Halo game,
which actually uses the whole gaming engine. Now, I did mention earlier in the show about the pistol with the scope on it.
Yeah.
There's a bug in the game, which if you arm a pistol and you push down the controller, your character's head nods.
Yep.
So it looks like it kind of it looks like speech.
Yeah.
So this type of animated series is called Machinima. Like a really good example in really popular media is the South Park episode "Make Love Not Warcraft."
Yep.
And that's where they use actual in-game engine stuff to do that stuff. And this is what these guys did with, what's the series called again?
The series is called Red vs. Blue. It's done by basically a company called Rooster Teeth Productions out in Texas. And they developed a series. It's basically a comedy series just based on basically a red team and a blue team stuck in Blood Gulch. Blood Gulch, for those who don't know, is a multiplayer map in Halo where it's basically for capture the flag. They have a red base and a blue base, and it's just a series developed on just a red team and a blue team. Basically, just they're complete idiots. They think they're in a war, and yet they don't even kill each other at all.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen various clips of the show. I've never actually seen a full episode, so I'm actually probably going to borrow your DVD you got.
Yeah, I actually have the DVD here in my hands. I actually bought it. They were up in Toronto for the Toronto Fan Expo about 2 years ago, and you shut up. And I had the season 3. It actually was. I have it signed, which is cool, by the 3 of the characters: Donut, Sarge, and Tucker. So for those who don't know, or those who do know, yeah, I actually got to interview him for it once when I was working on MMO radio. Yeah.
Yes, the Matrix Online radio.
Yes,
stuff.
but it's a great series. It's very, very funny. Unfortunately, it was explicit language, so for those who check it out and are a little bit not at work, it's definitely not safe for work.
Yeah.
But it is. Right now, they're in their, I think their 5th or 6th season right now. And I think they're in season 5, and they've been pretty much releasing a DVD for every single season, and I have watched them all, and it is funny. It is really, really funny.
I'm actually hoping to check that out rather soon, because Lord knows I don't want to study for midterms, and Halo is the perfect distraction for that.
Yeah, speaking of distractions, what you should do is after the show, play Halo, and then make sure you listen to Punk the Dial tonight. Was it at 7:30 or 8:30?
8:30.
8:30, because nothing is better playing Halo than punk music. So
exactly. I mean, Pierce Sturks and Brandon Chambers, they're both pretty good Halo players. In fact, Brandon Chambers never quite lets me forget that, I beat you in Halo. I hadn't played this in months. Sorry. I don't have a life. I've got nothing.
It sucks, though, because I'm the same as you. I'm not that great at multiplayer games, and I always get creamed. I don't know why. It's just weird. I
used to play on Xbox Live, which the first Halo never quite had that adaptability built into it, which kind of sucks. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Other things that have happened. There are tournaments, like I mentioned, like the whole house tournaments. No, there are tournaments that number in the hundreds, if not thousands. Mm-hmm. There's the World Cyber Games, which are held every year. Halo, the first one was was last featured rather in 2003. And this World Cyber Games thing, it's phenomenal. They have a players' village.
A players' village?
Yeah, I mean, like, picture the Olympics, except, you're surrounded by about, 100,000 nerds.
Wow.
All, smelling of Cheetos and whatnot. I'd have to play Halos.
And balls.
And balls. Oh, you know what? That's the stuff I don't mind.
I like balls.
I know you like balls, but I'm talking about the drink.
Not that kind of balls.
Shut up, they'll censor us. But anyway, so they got that, and that's so cool. I mean, video gaming has come so far. It's now a professional sport. So wow, whoever thought little Timmy, who spends his time with his Xbox, would become a professional athlete? I mean, figure this out. There are people who get paid for this. The last prize for this thing was like $100,000 or something.
What?
Yeah, $100,000 to play a video game. You know what? Screw college. I'll go play video games.
I want to play video games for a living now. Sign me up, please.
Now, that's by no means a slam against Niagara College, which is a fine educational institution.
Oh, of course.
Let me in. So thank you very much.
Mean let you in?
Well, obviously I had to come here to bring up the standard of coolness. Those of you in the halls that see me will definitely mock me for that statement. I love you all.
Yeah, he gets a mocking. I'm not going to even go there. He knows it.
But yeah, so we're going to take a little bit of a short break. We're going to come back with the series setter. Believe me when I say this, Halo 2, one of the best games on any system in any age. So stay tuned on This Week in Geek on 90.1, the new Heat FM. My co-host is in need of some sleep or a shot in the head, one or the other. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right, Temporary Insanity is back for another semester.
Join Janine
and Carla
for an hour of fun and weird music, crazy topics of discussion, plus embarrassing moments in our daily lives.
Tune into 90.1 FM every Monday from 5:30 to 6:30, or stay sane.
Only on Niagara's hottest mix.
Did you know that more than 1/3 of the homeless people in Canada are aged 16 to 24? That means more than 65,000 young people live on the streets during the winter. That's why Raising the Roof launched its YouthWorks program. YouthWorks hopes to break the cycle of youth homelessness by solving the problem at the beginning, not treating it at the end. Show your support for YouthWorks by purchasing a Raising the Roof toque and attending the YouthWorks Comedy Festival in Toronto on March 31st to April 2nd. For more information, check out raisingtheroof.org. Together, we can raise a roof for the homeless.
We're back now. Oh.
I don't know what to say to that. I love you, man.
Hey, I love my Halo.
So we're back here on This Week in Geek, here on 90.1, the new Heat FM. And those of you who are listening to us on iTunes, the internet, or perhaps even picking up my psychic brainwaves, because they're just that awesome. And hey, that thought's for you, sweetheart. Guess who I'm talking to? It's a trivia question. Which reminds me, speaking of trivia, I need to bring up our contest. I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's right. We have a contest now.
That's right. So, okay,
the
folks.
Selfhood of Doom contest.
Exactly. So those of you that have read our press release, and there better be a lot of you. Okay,
yes.
The contest is, a couple weeks ago, I fell here at Niagara College, and I crushed my cell phone. That's right. I lost.
Funny.
Oh, yeah, it was funny because you didn't get a concussion off the projector.
Wait, you got a concussion?
Yeah, I was bleeding pretty hard. It kind of sucked.
Oh,
but anyway.
It was funny, though.
So anyway, I want vengeance at this cell phone. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the reason why my life sucks. But no, I lost all my contacts, all my information. Obviously, I'm the king of all media, much like Howard Stern, and I lost all my information. So my phone was before they had SIM cards. So I lost everything. So, ladies and gentlemen of This Week in Geek, I want you to help me take vengeance on this phone. And here's the contest. So, I want you to write, email, fax, psychic, show expressions of love at my door.
Yeah, those last three probably we will not get.
I was hoping somebody would come to my door and just love me. But anyway, so I want you to email us at feedback@thisweekingeek.net or visit our MySpace, come to our website, www.thisweekingeek.net, and leave a comment on our website. Or, shoot me an email if you know my private email, or call me. Sort of thing. And we're going to take the best entry to destroy my cell phone in the most creative manner, and we're going to film it. Yep. Now, obviously, I don't want anything dangerous or harmful or whatnot. Have fun with this. I mean, think of willitblend.com. Yeah. Like that. I want something funny. We want something patriotic.
Yeah, see, now, we've already have a few entries in there to get this. And now the ones I like are the ones of throwing off the Niagara Falls, which we are close enough to be able to do. And I love that idea. So that's kind of in the front runner for at least my decision anyway. Yeah. And also there was a friend of mine, Shane, he came up with the idea of basically making a video Office Space style of just, how they kill the photocopier.
Oh, of course. Classic.
That's exactly what we should do with the cell phone.
Obviously, I like the Niagara Falls entry, but I want to be environmentally friendly, as we're friends of Greenpeace and PETA and whatnot. All them.
Oh yeah, that PETA chick.
Yeah, Megan. Hi, Megan. Anyway,
hi, Megan. Sorry, I called you PETA chick.
That's, ladies and gentlemen, that's Steven Saylor for you right there.
Shut up.
But yeah, so email us your entries, and we'd love to get you on the show prior to us destroying the cell phone. So at least you get some recognition. Yeah. Maybe we'll give you something kind of twiggy. And it'll be cool.
Why don't you tell them what they would win?
They would win. Yes. I have a Master Replicas, which makes really high quality and replicas of Star Wars items, among other properties like Pirates of the Caribbean and whatnot. Yep. A scaled 45 Yoda 45 scale. It's like half the size of what it would be in real life. And it's a Yoda scaled lightsaber, a gold chase edition. Now, they only made 250 of these in the world out of a run of about $5,000.
Very rare.
So very rare. I've seen them go on eBay for as much as 150. I've even seen them go higher the odd time.
And yet we're giving them away.
Exactly. This is from my personal collection. So I want you guys to come in, give us feedback, be creative, be expressive. That's what I want from you, my listeners. It would be amazing.
Price is so low, we're giving them away.
Exactly. So you know the address, feedback at thisweekingeek.net, and other ways to get a hold of us, so do it. Now we're going to get right back to the show.
And now back to our program.
Exactly. We're going to talk about Halo 2 now. This game was released November 9th, 2004. I actually remember getting up early in the morning, going to Walmart back in Owen Sound. Yes, I know, that place. And getting the collector's edition. Now, I had to bargain with a Walmart employee to get this thing because evidently it was on pre-order and held and yada, yada, yada.
Ouch.
But I got it, and I went home. I beat the thing in 2 days.
Oh.
And
you know what was crazy about that game?
What was crazy?
It sold $125 million in 1 day.
Yeah,
in sales.
One day. Exactly. And at that time, it was the largest, it was the number one selling media product in the world.
It beat out Spider-Man. Spider-Man sold for $115 million in 1 day. It beat out Spider-Man.
I mean, imagine that. That's right. The Master Chief pwned Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And,
kicked his little Spidey ass.
I mean, even now, 3 years later, they're actually planning a Windows Vista version, which includes developer tools. So imagine that, being able to mod Halo 2. I mean,
I don't like Windows Vista, but I'll get it if I get to play Halo 2.
I will very heavily consider if they produce a really good mod package for it.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
So what they did with Halo... So what they did from Halo to Halo 2 is they changed the engine, which interprets how things function in the world. Like if you threw a rock, it would fall the approximate distance that it should, taking into account wind resistance and whatnot in the game, in the fantasy world here.
Yep.
And it improved the gameplay. And even people in the industry, not just the video game industry, but the entertainment industry, took an interest in this and produced a soundtrack for the game, which included Incubus. They did these 4 movements of the Odyssey, which are on the Halo 2 official soundtrack. It's got a random wave from some really pretty girls. Hello.
Hello.
What can I say?
Hi.
They love the Birdman. So anyway, we had Incubus in there, and these tracks were beautifully orchestrated, and I really like the first one, Follow, which I don't have on our bumper music CD because I fell asleep watching Ninja Turtles last night. And
so that's what you were doing.
Yeah, what can I say? I love Raphael, which I'll probably have a show on the Ninja Turtles at some point, so please write us in and let us know. It included Breaking Benjamin, which is a group I discovered not too long ago, and I love them.
Yep.
Hoobastank, who've even contributed to other nerdy properties such as Spider-Man and Daredevil.
Yep.
So these guys obviously are fans of the industry.
Yep.
A stat I found while I was looking around last night was evidently there are over 4 billion games that have been played on this system.
That is crazy. Now, that's on Xbox Live alone. Since it released on Xbox Live, that was the first game I ever played on Xbox Live, was Halo 2. And the fact there's 4 billion games played since 2006.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
It's insane. And, you know, and everybody loves the storyline of Halo 2, which, you know what, I'm not even going to go really into it, because, you know, it's a game you don't explain. It's a game you live.
Let's just say it brings the story back to Earth.
It does.
And it is awesome. One of the first things in the game, you jump off a ship in orbit of Earth, and you're flying down with this bomb.
So totally a Dr. Strangelove reference right there.
Oh.
And it was... He's very happy.
It was awesome. It was great cinematic glory.
It was. It was honestly some of the most beautifully rendered graphics on the Xbox up to that point. And I still think, even today, would be considered the most advanced Xbox product at that time.
Yes.
And it spent so long in development that Bungie even went back to the drawing board and said, you know what, guys? We want to make this better. This is not ready to ship just yet. Mm-hmm. So it was a phenomenal package here.
Yeah. And you also got to play as one of the elites.
Exactly. You became a guy called the Arbiter. The Arbiter. Who was extremely badass.
Oh, heck yeah.
So, speaking of badassness, we're going to take a little bit of a break here, folks.
That's badass.
But I want you to... It is, because they're listening to 90.1, the new Heat FM, which is obviously cool enough to carry us.
Nice promo.
All right, there. So, folks, stay tuned. Keep logged on to Xbox Live. Listen to us, and we're going to take a break. Right now. That's right. Enjoy it, folks. We'll be right back.
Want me to sing again?
Ridiculum definition. Latin word for ridiculous. Ridiculous definition. Absurd or preposterous. Well, that definitely describes this piece. Tune in starting March 13th for 3 minutes of craziness, otherwise known as Ridiculum. It'll be 3 minutes of whatever comes to the top of our heads. Mind-buzzing, mind-blowing, scratching your head worthy. Ridiculum, coming to you in March, only on 90.1 FM, the new Heat. This week in News at Niagara, the Ontario government recently presented the Niagara College Viticulture program with $1.5 million. Find out what they plan to do with the funding and how it will benefit students. Also, a recap of the National Junior Curling Championships from St. Catharines, where News at Niagara spoke with Canada's youngest skip. Plus, a look at the growth of BMX, not only as a sport, but as an art form, with a profile of one of the area's top BMXers. All this and more in News at Niagara.
Ladies and gentlemen, and in the closing moments of our show, we got a lot more to cover here.
It sucks that we only have an hour to be able to talk about this, because there's so much that we just can't talk about.
Exactly, which is why we're hoping to offer you more exclusive content on our website, which is www.ThisWeekInGeek.net.
Yeah.
Speaking of exclusive content, we are once again joined by our groupie in the booth, Leslie Smith, who's a reporter.
That flash!
At News at Niagara, who's snapping pictures like a good little journalist. She actually wrote an article about us in the Niagara News, and it was really cool. If you check out page 19, I believe. Yeah, it's an article about us and how we've conquered college
Geeks
radio.
conquer the college radio.
Exactly. Now, by no means to brag here. I mean, yeah, we are pretty cool and whatnot.
Yeah.
But, you know, I definitely try to strive to make everything as cool as we can, because, you know, that's part of the thing about being a geek, is you have to be cool within your own realm.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't always work, but, you know, sometimes it does. And we do have to send a special thanks out to her and the staff at News at Niagara for giving us the opportunity to basically talk about ourselves, promote the show, but also give insights into what it's like to be a geek.
Yep.
So we do thank you very, very much.
Yeah, all right. Now, finishing up our Halo stuff, Halo 3.
Oh, man.
What's been in development for a while? It's supposed to come out when?
We're not sure.
Oh.
This year. I know this year for sure.
Sometime this year. Probably in November like they did for Halo 2. We'll probably see someone with a tattoo like they did for Halo 2. The fact that the actual date when it's coming out. But anyway, it's the trailer was released at E3 at the Microsoft press conference, and it's going to be on the 360. Which might be released on different systems. We don't know, and we don't really want it to.
No.
And the great thing about this, I love, is that the second trailer they released it was released on ESPN, and it was using CGI footage. But this trailer for Halo 3, I wish it was gameplay footage.
Yeah, it looked phenomenal.
Oh my gosh!
Basically, it opens up in this field. These two kids laying there, saying, "I wonder if we'll ever meet anybody from up there." This is before space travel was really common, I guess.
Yep.
And then it shows the Master Chief getting hit by something really heavy.
Yep.
He wakes up. He's dizzy. His helmet's off. The Marines are like, "Oh, we lost the Master Chief. What are we gonna do now?" Chief puts on his helmet, throws down this bubble shield grenade thing, and says, "It's not over yet." And he charges into this group of brutes. Kicks some major ass.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the majesty that is Halo 3. And, you know, the cool thing about it is I've seen some of the footage for this, and it looks phenomenal. I mean,
yeah.
I really can't go on about this enough. There's even a video documentary on Bungie's website, which is A2 Brute.
A2 Brute.
A2 Brute, which is how they redesigned the Brutes similar to the Elites. Because
the Brutes have officially replaced the Elites as far as the official guard of the Covenant.
Yeah, so be prepared to fire more ammo and more wasted shots trying to kill these guys.
And apparently the Brutes are a lot smarter and a lot stronger.
Exactly.
Sucks.
So, you know, I can't wait for this to come out. It comes out in 4 editions, this time. 4.
4 editions, I know, that's weird.
There's like standard, collectors,
legendary.
And legendary.
That's 3.
But there's also the beta test version.
Right, yes.
And we can't forget that one. But yeah, the Legendary Edition actually comes with DVDs of all the cinematics in HD. It comes with a scaled replica of the Master Chief's helmet, and it looks wicked. I mean, I like to collect some of the scaled replicas from like Master Replicas and, you know, Sideshow Collectibles and Tomy and whatnot.
Yep.
And this thing looks really cool. I really can't wait to get it. So if you want a beta test, unfortunately, you missed the boat on that one unless you live in Australia and New Zealand. So for those listeners down there, do it and do it now.
But if you get the game Crackdown, you can be able to download the beta supposedly from there.
Exactly. So, you know, I really hope Halo 3 lives up to the hype. I mean, and there's so much more about the Halo universe, but, you know, we're running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, we can't even talk about Halo Wars or even the Halo movie that Peter Jackson's making. There's so much stuff that we it sucks that we can only have an hour, like I said.
Exactly. And, you know, like I said, there's so much we want to cover, but we're going to try and cover in future expanded content for our website. Actually, one thing we're working on, hopefully, for the holidays here, which we're taking spring break, which means we won't be on the air next week.
Yeah.
At least not live, but we will have a special episode for everybody.
Yep.
And we're going to have special DVD commentary.
Oh.
We're going to pick a bad movie and rip it right to shreds. We're going to have
M3STK this, man.
Exactly. Mystery Science Theater 3000. This is our inspiration. I want to be that weird looking little robot dude. And, you know, it'll be great. So, like I said, we want to expand on our content on ThisWeekInGeek.net, and we want to expand our MySpace thing. In fact, we may even try and run a MySpace contest before the end of the year.
Yeah, who knows?
And, you know, I'm moving down to Welland now.
Yay.
So we're hopefully going to have more expanded content because we want to do the show during the summer. We're hoping to join you next year, too, in second year.
Exactly.
So, you know.
All right, so stay tuned to the website, ThisWeekInGeek.net. You can email us if you have comments, questions, feedback, anything of that at all. Feedback at ThisWeekInGeek.net, or join our MySpace, myspace.com/ThisWeekInGeek. Go to our website. We'll have all kinds of stuff up there. We keep putting up all the time. So anyway, this is it for This Week in Geek. I am, of course, Steve Snowball Sailor.
And I am Mike, the Birdman Dodd, saying, and remember, folks, there can be only one. So stay tuned, folks. We got some great shows coming up at you at the Not So Roundtable, the Raging Burnett's, and, of course, my friends, Punk the Dial and Alphabet Soup, I think. Yeah. All right, guys, stay tuned.
Want to see me make bubbles with my spit? Sure do. In fact, that's the theme of our next show. So don't miss it.
Why is the program, like, freaking out? It's doing it again! This program... Communism! Freaking communism!
Can you count pi to 1,000 places? Wait, if you can, you're too much of a nerd.
They gave us a show and we so don't know what we're doing.
I don't know either.
You've been listening to This Week in Geek. Tune in next week where you'll hear Mike say,
I'm ad-libbing this as I go along. I'm just going to let it roll and I can edit out whatever I want. Okay. Shit, I need to think.
So make sure to tune in next Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. on 90.1 FM The Mid-Heat. Also make sure to visit our website at thisweekingeek.net for show notes, news, and updates about the show. Also make sure to add yourself to our MySpace page at myspace.com/thisweekingeek. If you'd like to send comments or feedback about the show, email us at feedback@thisweekingeek.net. That's it for us. We'll see you next week on This Week in Geek.
At Fit for Less, we're a gym with no judgment. Like a friend who's seen you at your weirdest, but likes you anyway. And sure, we're a place to work out, but we're also a getaway, a place for me time. At only $4.99 every 2 weeks, we're the cheapest vacation you'll ever go on. Basically, we're a happy place that anyone can find at a price that everyone can afford. Sound good, friend? Visit fitforless.ca for details. Some conditions apply. Everybody happy!